just in general, like some of your wacky or bad sort of customer,
So
Luna store customer quirky stories, I guess.
I'll try to do my best with this as I can to lead in, and I'm not going to get too personal about it. This has not been a good month. Lots of personal things happening with family. There will be a death in the family soon of someone who I'm very, very close to. So this is going to perhaps be a little cathartic for me to just go and rant for a while. So I got some bad news today, and somehow today just happened to be the day where every single person was an asshole. Now, Ocean Beach compared to La Mesa. This is a thing that usually throws people off.
And those were the two Luna stores.
Those are the two locations for Luna. Ocean Beach is more affluent, especially when you get out of the beachfront area. Sure. And La Mesa is definitely the poorer area. When I bitch about things that happen at the store, people always assume, I'm in a bad neighborhood or something like that. No, all the problem customers are in Ocean Beach. All the assholes are in Ocean Beach. They're the ones who bitch about every single price,
sure.
And they don't really know what they're doing in there.
But why is that though? I have a few theories.
Well,
there's a lot of like layabouts,
yes.
Listless younger people. There's a lot of grifters and drifters.
You have two poles. You have the layabouts who don't want to spend any money on anything because they don't have it, and the only way they can take it out on you is by yelling at you over something stupid.
Yeah, they're trying to sell you like Guitar Hero guitars. They want like $50 for it.
And then you have the very rich parents who didn't get rich by spending money.
Sure.
So that's kind of what the problem is, and you have a lot more entitlement in the more affluent neighborhood. In Ocean Beach, it's there's more entitlement. There's I don't know. Everyone seems to think that they should get their own way. Not to make too much of a social statement, but you go to a badder neighborhood, a less downtrodden or more downtrodden neighborhood, people aren't used to getting their way.
Sure.
People, value their money and they make their choices wisely. They come in and they look at games for 2 weeks before they come back and buy something, and never once do they really complain. I mean, it's not to say that I don't have problems out in La Mesa, because I occasionally do. You have to deal with some drug addicts and stuff like that you have to shoo out of the store, but for the most part, everyone's a lot friendlier. So, I don't know, we'll just start with one story today. Now, keep in mind, this is not a greatest hits of my 8 years at Luna Video Games, but this is just an example
8 years?
This is just an example of how a bad day can progress. A gentleman walks in this morning, and walks up and puts 2 boxes and a sealed game on the counter. And I stand up and I look at him, and it's a sealed PlayStation Move controller.
Okay.
PlayStation Eye. And a copy of Sports, whatever the fuck it's called, Sports Heroes or whatever.
Their version of Wii Sports.
Absolutely dog shit worthless.
The Move controls aren't worth anything? No one wants it?
I can't move them. I can't move them to save my life. We have them priced lower than GameStop. We just can't move them. No one's interested.
Okay.
So I stand up, and I look at it, and real politely I go, are you looking for cash or credit? And he goes, cash. I go, okay. I said, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to do much for you. And he starts, piling the games up. And I go, yeah, sorry, he's obviously, getting ready to leave. I'm like, I can give you a quote, but I said, I can't move these. I've got more than I need. And he starts chuckling to himself. And he turns around and walks away.
How old is this person?
I would say older. I would say late 30s.
Late 30s, okay.
Yeah. So he's an adult, supposedly. And as he's walking away, he goes, a simple no would have sufficed. And I think to myself, real quick, this is a guy who's just not used to hearing no.
In general.
This is a guy who's
you did say no in a nice way, kind of.
And this is just a guy who's upset that he's not getting money for his bullshit that he thinks should be worth something. And I said, sorry, sir. I said, I just wanted to kind of explain to you why I can't take that. Mm-hmm. Because this is the thing that sunk in for me afterwards. And we're not done with this story, but a simple no would have sufficed. That's bullshit. Yeah. If I had stood up and looked at his boxes and went, no, and sat back down, he would have been way more angry.
I worked in an office, and they always say never say no to a coworker or a customer. You never say no.
Yeah.
You never use those words.
Right. So I explained myself, and as he's walking away, he decides to throw this barb out there, and this is great. Just thought I'd try local for once.
What a...
Like he was... Here's the difference. If you walk into a store and you're looking around and you want to buy something, That's giving locals business. Coming to me to offload your shit.
To take money from a local business. You're not doing you a favor, really.
Right. To offload your shit that I can't sell for anything isn't doing me a favor.
And it's almost like he's trying to make you feel ashamed for you not supporting your own local business by not engaging with him.
Right.
To buy his garbage, which you explained that's not good for my business to buy your garbage.
So I looked at
So
him.
he's just an idiot.
I looked at him and I said, dude, I'm sorry. I don't think you're going to get much elsewhere. And he goes, I already talked to Best Buy. Best Buy said they'd give me something for it. And in my head, I'm like, is Best Buy even still taking games? And if they are, what? I mean, did you just call someone and someone was like, yeah, whatever, and hung up the phone just to get him off the phone? So anyways, he was like, Best Buy already said, and I said, well, sir, it's probably not going to be much. And he called me an asshole on his way out the door.
So, and this was like a well-to-do kind of guy. Like,
this was totally well-to-do, nice shirt, nice clothes.
Not an Ocean Beach drifter, grifter guy.
No, not someone who stole these out of a garbage can. This was someone who got this as a gift and just decided they didn't want it.
Or had a nephew or niece or son or something.
And, they thought they were going to make a quick, 30, 40 bucks off of this shit. I don't even think a full set of that stuff would cost you what he was probably hoping to get from it. So, we move on. And
so did you say anything after he said you just didn't say anything?
No, I just let it go. So then what was there were so many of them. Well, I'm gonna tell them out of order. I have this kid come in. He's probably like 8 or 9 years old. He always comes in.
Little bastard.
He always wants to trade away his games. And they're always games that are like 5 years old that sell for $5 or $10, and I can't give him much. And he always sighs and a little bit, and he gets a little upset, but he usually takes the credit that I give him. And today he comes in, he starts asking me about all these sports games. I'm like, no. I'm like, I can't take sports games. I don't take sports games older than current year. So he's like, well, what about Madden 25? And I said, I would probably still do 15 in credit for Madden 25.
Really? That one's still popular?
It's the most current year. I feel like that's pretty fair. I feel like that's better than what GameStop
with the metal case or whatever in defense.
I don't know. And he goes, he looks at me in disbelief. He's like, that's the most recent year. And I'm like, well, dude, I'm sorry. I said, sports games don't move. And I pointed a pile of sports games on the ground.
Was he with his parent?
No. And I pointed the pile of sports games on the ground. And I go, see? I said, they don't sell. And he goes, well, that's not my problem. And I looked at him and I said, it is, actually, because that's why I won't buy sports games for anything anymore. And I got to promise you, I was not rude this whole time. I was very calm with him. And he turns around, and as he's walking out, he's like, don't shop here. They're all about the money. To all the customers. He's like, I'm going to GameStop. And I'm like, GameStop isn't going to give you fuck all for that.
Well, he's going to hop on his skateboard and go on down, or as his mom and he drive him to GameStop?
His Razor scooter.
I'm like, fine, go the 7 miles there to the GameStop. It's not close, or 5 miles, whatever it is. And they're not going to, like I said, not going to give you anything.
Right.
Give him $5. That's funny as hell. He's all about the money. No, we're just giving away everything in a retail store.
Yeah.
Where we have a lease to take care of and employees.
So then I get this guy who comes in, and this is one of the more shiftless, OB layabout types. Drunk as a fucking skunk. Stumbles in, looks around. I'm like, how's it going? He's like, it's going good. Just looking for some games. I'm like, okay. So he walks up to the counter, right? Mm-hmm. And he looks down at it and goes, this black DS in here? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, it's a DS? I said, it's a 3DS. And he goes, 140. He goes, how about 50? And he said it with a straight face.
Like you would have budged.
And I said, sir, I'm not giving away a Nintendo 3DS. He goes, I'm not asking you to give it away. I'm asking you to make a deal. Now, I don't know why this person has a southern accent, because he's not southern. He's totally
You're just making
West
one
Coast.
up?
Yeah.
That's Ian's just like random customer accent. I don't know. I didn't ask you to give it away. Yeah. I asked you to make a deal.
So he just stares at me, and he looks at me, and he's like, so? And I said, no, not a chance. And I said, and he turns around and goes, little bitch. And just starts walking away. And the thing was, I didn't have anything to say. At this point, in my day, everything had gone so poorly that all I did was scream. I screamed, "What the fuck?" I don't know if I was screaming to a god I don't believe in, or if I was screaming at him or to the passerbys, because the people across the street heard me and looked across the street. I just let loose a dragon roar and screamed, "What the fuck?" And he got real undrunk real quick and ran. He went from a stumble to a run out of the stores. He looked at me like I was crazy. And I'm sure I portrayed myself as a crazy person, but at that point, it's like, what the I mean, I'm looking for the fucking camera in the store. You know, I'm waiting for Dom DeLuise's corpse to punch up through the ground. And be like, surprise! You're in Candy Bruh, you know? And I don't know, it was full of little shit like that. I don't know, if you go to a store, look, yes, the people who work in retail, you have every right to be treated kindly. As long as you are treating the people who are helping you kindly. We're still humans. When you sell something to a store that does buybacks, whether it's a video game store or a pawn shop, we're under no obligation to buy anything that you bring in.
No.
You know, we have a business to run. Just because you bring me a bag of stuff doesn't mean I'm going to give you a bag of money in return. It's not how it works.
Sure.
And likewise, because like that kid, I'm sorry, next time he comes in with games, I'm going to tell him to go to GameStop so he can get his 50 cents a copy of a game. Because I don't care.
If I deal with his parents by then, it should be funny. That'd be a whole other story.
I just, you know, we don't have to sit there and take it. You know, we don't have to sell you anything. We don't have to buy anything from you. So, I don't know. Like I said, today was I get more bad customers in OB than anywhere else, but today was just particularly rough.
It was just particularly rough. Here's the thing about people. I deal with it to some extent. I mean, when you have like I guess somewhat of a fan base, and I guess you do too in the podcast, is that people expect, just because I guess they see you as servicing them in some way, not to be in a dirty way, but either by providing them entertainment, or they expect that they can treat you as shitty as they want, and just because they think that they're the one that is in control because you're the one servicing them, or they're the one that's providing their fandom to you, that they can just treat you with disrespect and expect nothing bad back in return. And for the most part, a lot of people just avoid it. I don't. I know other guys that don't, and it's not right just to take it. It really isn't. No. Because it's a two-way street. It really is. Yeah. When it comes to anything like that. It's like, I always look at it as, at the end of the day, you treat people like human beings, and then like it's secondary what their sort of their position is and what they're doing. You know, that should be sort of like, yeah, that's where they're at, but you have to treat people with respect either way. You know, I'm
on this side of the counter, you're on that side of the counter, but really, let's just communicate like two adults, and everything will get done just fine. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, like for example, on my videos, like, you know, we see people that have these comments about Ian. You know, Ian's an asshole. He talks too much, or Pat doesn't talk enough on the videos, and it's just like, you can say things nicely and critique.
Yeah,
I have no problem with that.
Right.
You know, there was a comment on Retroware. It was the last video I posted on Retroware, actually, which made it go a little sour, just because, not that you expect everyone to have positive comments, but on Retroware, for some reason on that site, sometimes the commenters are a little more acerbic than other websites I've seen, even YouTube. But one guy thought it'd be cool to criticize my last two videos on the site, which were both the Famicom games, and the first one I did is a tribute to Justin, and he said, "Well, these videos weren't creative enough for me," and it's just like, excuse me. You know, it's just like, so I responded back to, that's a little crass of you to, you know, I wasn't thinking about being extremely creative doing a tribute video to my dead friend. That wasn't the first thing on my mind. Was it? Did I think it was entertaining? Did I think it had some good laughs? Yeah, but I wasn't going all balls out and wanted to like have a Donkey Kong fight in a video, you know, that was a tribute to Justin, you know. And so then he gets back to me like, "Whoa, you know, you can't take critique." It's just like, yeah, that's what it is. I can't take critique. I've been critiqued so much. I used to get people threatening to beat me up on game trailers. You know, I used to get featured on the site in like 2010. But I can't take your shitty critique. No, I can take critique, but I can take critique that's nice and constructive, or at least doesn't attack you like in such just a visceral, just idiotic way. There's a difference.
This is where we go back to, and not to get too off topic, but this is where we go back to the internet providing, you know, a barrier that people feel like lets them be assholes. I saw on like a recent video that we did, you know, someone was real sarcastic and was like, "Yeah, that 50 plus decibel thing isn't working out real well for you guys, huh?" And it's like, you could have just said, instead of being a dick, you could have just said, "Hey, that was a little loud. Was there a problem?"
And someone did that. And obviously, I responded. So yeah, we had a setting up. You don't think I'm the first person to realize that I was pissed?
Right.
The last podcast that our audio was all fucked up.
No, somehow you uploaded all of those without that.
Yeah, you think I was happy about that? And so like people, it comes back to when they're customers too. They think they have this, like they have a right then to be mean. You see it with waiters and waitresses all the time.
Which I did forever. So anyway, last line, just a way to kind of draw it together. What I feel the same thing about like the internet providing this false bravado.
Yeah.
I get it all the time. These customers who want to be dicks, more often than not, they will walk out and say their last parting word as they're leaving the store, and rounding the literal barrier between me and them. Because what fucking assholes! Like you have no character,
no spine. At least say it to your face too.
Right.
Yeah, that's always the best thing when you're on the phone with someone or an argument where it's like, can we end this like as humans and not just like you got to get the last word and feel good about yourself? Do you feel that awful about yourself that you have to go, either to an employee somewhere or online, and you have to go out of your way to be a dick? That's what it comes down to. Right. Going out of your way to be a dick. But again, some people are just like that.
Yeah.
I don't have the shiniest view of humanity a lot of times because of that. Because I know there's lots of nice people, but it's like the few like, fruit bad apple spoil the bunch. Oh. No, but it's kind of like it kind of puts you in a bad way.
It does. I refuse to fall into the pit of misanthropy. I hate it. I think it's a cop-out and it's an excuse. I know too many good people to fall into that. But on a day like today, it is very easy to just put my head down on the keyboard, hit all the buttons and say I fucking hate everyone. Because, I mean, that's how you feel. The only problem is you can't let yourself fall into that as a regular routine. Because then life is going to be miserable.
Maybe I do that too often.
Maybe. Anyways, whatever. So I got some of that out of my system, and those
you shouldn't complain. The employee, the customer, are always supposed to get. They're always right in the end. So why don't you talk less and let Pat talk more on this?